Our lesson this week is Lesson 6 in the study guide, How to Interpret Scripture, and the title is, Why is Interpretation Needed? And the memory verse is from Hebrews 11:6 in the New King James, which reads, But without faith it is impossible to please him, for he who comes to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. So what does it mean? Does it mean more than believing God exists and rewards those who seek him? If you remember what James wrote in James 2:19, you believe that there is one God. You do well. Even the demons believe and tremble. Sounds like the demons believe that God is, but they live in fear of him. So having faith has to be more than merely believing God is. Faith must mean trusting him. Why do you think the demons who believe in God fear him? Has God stopped loving them? Does God have a desire in his heart to harm them? If it were possible for God to heal the hearts and minds of the demons and restore them to righteousness, do you think God would do it? So is God a being whom the demons need to actually fear? Is he against them, in other words? No, their fear is the inevitable, unavoidable result of sin. Just as Adam and Eve, after they sinned, they ran and hid because they were afraid. Yet God remained their friend. God was out to save them, to heal them, to redeem them, but they were afraid of him. Why? Because of what sin does in the hearts and minds of sinners. God is the source of truth, and he presents truth to win us to trust. Sinners are free to accept or reject the truth. If one rejects the truth, what is left for the mind to rest upon? Only lies. And what happens in the mind if one clings to lies? They become more fearful and more selfish. Thus the demons are deluded. They believe lies that God is the source of pain, suffering, torment, death, and this is why they fear him. Many humans have done the same thing, and they also fear God. In fact, many humans are more afraid of God, who is trying to save them, than the sin in their life, which is destroying them. This is classic projection. Projecting out of oneself the evil that's in oneself and labeling it or putting it on some other person around them. And what happens when we believe the lie and conclude that some other intelligence is out to get us, wants to punish us, must in fact torture and kill us? What happens to our ability to trust them, which is the question of faith? You can have no faith or trust in a being who you believe is out to torture and kill you. And this is the heart and the root of Satan's lies about God. This is how he presents God. This is what happens when you accept the human law model, imposed rules view, and conceive of justice as inflicting just penalties. Then God becomes the source of pain and suffering from whom we need to be protected, and thus we may believe in God, but just like the demons, we won't trust him, and we'll create theologies that are designed to hide us and protect us from God, which is basically almost all Christian theology. We can only really find harmony in Scripture when we return to design law. The wages of sin is death. There is a real penalty, a real punishment from sin. Yet God remains completely trustworthy as the one whom is seeking to heal us, not the one we need to be protected from. This happens when we understand how reality works. Deviations from God's laws injure and destroy those who violate them. And God is working to put this law back in the hearts and minds of all who trust him. Thus, we can have harmony. Yes, the wages of sin is death. Yes, God never violates his designs and never breaks his laws. And we have to be restored to live in harmony with those. We realize that Jesus' death was an absolute necessity for our salvation, but not for legal reasons, not to influence his Father, but to destroy the lies so we can see God for who he is and be one to trust, and then in trust experience the indwelling Spirit who takes the victories of Christ and reproduces it in us. So Christ had to win us trust and fix the damage done to his creation. Understanding design law also gives us insight as to why human beings can be saved, but the fallen angels cannot.